After a long wait, we finally get Chris Stuckmann's debut horror film, Shelby Oaks. Do we witness a miracle by seeing this YouTube reviewer turn into a filmmaker, or is it another dud? Let's dive in. What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to the Movie Dive. Today we're diving into the new Chris Stuckmann and presented by Mike Flanagan film, Shelby Oaks. Before we dive in, please don't forget to subscribe to the Movie Dive. Don't forget to ring the bell button down below to get notifications on the channel. So honestly, I've been watching Chris Stuckmann for a long time. I think I started probably back in 2010 or 2011-ish. I remember watching the Dark Knight Rises review on his channel way back in the day. And every time a new movie would come out, he was the first reviewer on YouTube I would go right to watch and see what he thought about the film. In recent years, Chris Stuckmann has stopped giving negative reviews to movies and only reviews the movies he feels is a positive experience or a good film. This does upset a lot of people, but on one end, when he started working on movies, he sees how hard it is to actually make a film, and he feels bad critiquing his peers and critiquing stuff that so many people put their heart and soul into. And on that end of it, I do definitely understand. We have a lot of reviewers out there, we can go and watch them say negative things about movies as well, especially in this world where we feel like there's so much negative news. Now, Chris Stuckmann years ago said he was making this movie Shelby Oaks, raised a decent amount of money for it as well. I think it was some kind of record-breaking number on Kickstarter or GoFundMe. One of the two, I'm not sure. I believe he raised about $1.5 million to make his movie Shelby Oaks. It was filmed a little bit after the pandemic, and then it was put into some festivals where it got the attention of horror producer Mike Flanagan. He also recently did The Life of Chuck, but in the horror movie realm, he did do Dr. Sleep. He did The Haunting on Hill House. So some fan favorites for some people. Those two movies are a little bit of a red flag for me because I am not a fan of how he does his horror. So getting down to the business, was Shelby Oaks actually a good movie? So on one hand, I don't want to critique kind of a miracle of a movie and something that is as low budget as Shelby Oaks, but on the other hand, I want to be realistic in being a reviewer. So going into this movie, I didn't have that much high of expectations because I was thinking to myself, this is a first-time director who comes from YouTube. Yes, I know that's the sad realism of all of it, but also this is such a small budget, it's probably going to be kind of like watching a glorified festival film. And it's pretty awesome in general that this actually got a wide release, and I'm seeing it in a movie theater, and that's a win in itself. And I will say the first portion of the film is very intriguing. There's mix between found footage, there's mix between real life, and I found that kind of stuff actually riveting, and I do like how Chris Stuckmann put his old love for found footage movies into his own. Now, Camille Sullivan is the lead in this movie. I will say that she does give it her all. There are moments I find that she has a pretty good future in acting, specifically in horror films, where she's supposed to look scared, and she does a good job at doing that. She's the one who carries the beginning of the movie where her sister goes missing, and she watches her old Paranormal Activity tapes to kind of figure out where she went. She's been gone for a long time, and she has this little hope of her being alive. The movie takes a turn to a traditional haunting film, and with this kind of budget is where it does struggle. I remember watching Chris Stuckmann old YouTube videos talking about the art of making a jump scare and stuff that he really enjoys seeing in horror movies, so I was expecting him to put some of those elements into Shelby Oaks, and he did for the first portion of the movie. And then later on, I did find myself with some jump scares that seemed cheap, and some moments that he was directly talking against. I have suspicion, but no proof, that Mike Flanagan came in and had some reshoots and put his own flair into the movie. Chris Stuckmann had no say because it was his first time writing and directing. Specifically, the last act of Shelby Oaks really did not work for me. It made me roll my eyes. It was a trope I've seen way too many times in the last 10 years. But the main thing I'll say about Shelby Oaks, beside it being a miracle again that it was made, is that there is really good cinematography, and you definitely see some talent there with Chris Stuckmann's writing and directing. Now, if we would have been going the same direction we did in the first act of the movie, I think the rest of it would have been quite a bit stronger. But then we had some CGI moments that didn't make sense, some ghost moments that didn't really make sense, and characters making decisions that were just quite infuriating. But I think, again, it's a huge win that we had a YouTuber who was a reviewer follow his dream and become a filmmaker and make a movie that, frankly, was not bad. Now, was it good? No, but there's so many worse movies that have come out this year, and Shelby Oaks still has me excited to see what Chris Stuckmann can do in the future if he stays in the horror realm or maybe branches off. Chris Stuckmann is the GOAT of YouTube reviewers. I am very excited that he was able to step into the world of filmmaking since that's been his dream. Although ultimately Shelby Oaks was a miss, there was some pretty good highlights in the film. I'm going to go ahead and give it a 55 out of 100. You guys let me know what you thought about Shelby Oaks. Have you seen it? Let me know in the comments. Don't forget to subscribe, and we will see you next time on the Movie Dive.